Hi everyone, Richard here at Calvin Wazoo with another video. And this one is for Eric Weinbender, who is a member of the vinyl community. I know I have many subscribers who probably are not fully aware of the vinyl community. You know, there's many of us in the vinyl community, and it's an amazingly tight-knit community. We help each other. We send each other VCLT, the Love Train, where we send each other records just for the hell of it. And Eric is someone who does have a channel, and I've chatted with him a few times on some of the live streams, and I've seen him on some of the live streams. And the reason we're doing these videos are twofold. One is to bring him good cheer and vibes because Eric was in a terrible car crash. He is currently hospitalized with some major injuries. However, he was on a live stream the other night and I heard his voice, very upbeat and positive. But nonetheless, he was severely injured in this car crash. And there is a GoFundMe page that has been created to raise money to help him with various medical expenses and other expenses. So far, I'm looking at the page right now, and just under $4,000 has been raised of a goal, and that was in just a couple of days. The GoFundMe page was created. Their goal is $50,000, which I frankly hope will be enough. And I hope more people will really seriously consider donating whatever you can. It doesn't have to be a lot of money, but if you can donate, you know, larger sums of money, and you have it available, you know, we all have different situations, you know, please do. Speaking from experience, you know, before I was a member of the vinyl community, so to speak, you know, several years ago, going on almost 10 years ago, I had a stroke. And a year later, I had a heart attack. And while I have pretty good insurance, there, you know, with insurance, you have your deductible and then your out-of-pocket expenses, and they're all tied to the calendar year. So at the end of the year, you have to start all over again. And with severe injury or trauma or a severe illness, you know, insurance may be there to when you have it, and good insurance, because not every employer offers good insurance, and not every self-employed person has very good insurance or any insurance at all. I don't know what Eric's situation is. My point is there's a lot of other expenses that come up beyond the initial medical expenses. And because Eric was in this significant car crash, I suspect there's going to be a lot of physical rehabilitation involved. And that is an ongoing thing. And even in situations like that, insurers are loath to pay for the entire cost. I mean, insurance in the United States is just a big scam. They take your money and then they don't want to pay you when you make a claim. So it's really important. I mean, $50,000 is a good goal for them to raise money, but you know, this isn't just for now. He's going to be dealing with rehabilitation likely for quite a long time. You know, years. There's going to be medical expenses tied to this crash. It can be not just physically and emotionally, but also economically devastating. So I'll have a link to the GoFundMe page, and please, consider contributing what you can. Every little bit helps. I've got more than 500 subscribers, and, I know many of them are subscribers to Eric's page and to other pages and have heard about this, and I'm sure you've already donated. But, we all have hundreds of subscribers. A little bit of money goes a long way. And I do believe in karma, because all karma is cause and effect. So yeah, what goes around comes around. May not come back to you in an immediate form, but it does come back to you. So give to the love train. And so for the video, it's 5 E's for Eric, which I've watched a few of the videos, and it seems to be the general theme is, show some records or whatever that are from Eric's. And so that's what I did. I suppose I could have done writers or movie directors or whatever, but because I'll tell you, while there are a couple Erics that come immediately to mind when we're thinking of musicians, people in the music industry, there aren't a lot of them. All right, you start thinking about, all right, there's this Eric and there's that Eric, and oh yeah, there's that Eric, and then I had to go to the internet and look up, Eric's, musicians whose first name are Eric to really find some. There are not very many. So, but anyway, all right, let's get started here because I want this to be short. It's already 7 minutes. So the first Eric, is the obvious choice, is Eric Clapton. And so what I wanted to show was this one, Wheels of Fire from Cream. This classic, the kind of a, I want to avoid the glare here, but, this kind of black and gray. And then, on the inside, very colorful album, psychedelic, heavy rock blues. The first album is all in the studio with songs, classics like White Room, Sitting on Top of the World, Politician, Born Under a Bad Sign. And then the second album is a live album at the Fillmore with side 3 as the famous take on Crossroads plus Spoonful, and then Train Time and Toad on side 4. Really, really great one. I picked because 5, I needed to go to another album that kind of has Eric Clapton in it. And here's the album. Of course, me, I'm all about Frank Zappa, so we're only in it for the money, okay? Frank Zappa managed to have Eric Clapton kind of make a cameo appearance on this album. Of course, the classic cover, made to look like the Sgt. Pepper's album. And this is a new reissue of it. So yeah, Eric appears on the beginning of the opening track on side 2, which is called the Nasal Retentive Calliope Music. And in that, he is amidst this musique concrète and these other sounds during the song. And I'm going to sneeze. Okay. Jeez. Always something, always something going. And I'm not going to cut this out. All right. Anyway, he says, "Beautiful God, is it God? I see God." That's what you hear Eric Clapton saying. So that's his little bit appearance. Frank Zappa said in an interview that, he said, quote, "I know Eric. I haven't seen him in years and years. There's another person who shouldn't do drugs." So there you go. Now, another very, famous Eric that probably readily comes to mind is Eric Burdon of The Animals. And, the only Animals record I have is this one, The Animals' Greatest Hits. And, there's Eric Burdon. You don't want this one, though. This is the reissue. All right? It's not a gatefold. And this is what the back cover looks like. All right? So you might think, oh, it's a reissue. It's going to have the same stuff. No, it doesn't. Because after the original was pressed and issued, some of the master tapes were lost and destroyed. So subsequent reissues used different remasters of some of the songs. And in fact, now, the one you want is this one. All right? And this is hard to find because when you find them in a record store, they tend to be really beat up in marginal condition. Lots of skips and scratches, and because hey, this is a great compilation, and it got played to death. And this is what the back looks like on the one you want, not this. And it is a gatefold. So we've got, the gatefold. And, the MGM with the rainbow. I got so lucky to find this one. This is in VG, close to VG plus condition. But yeah, when we start thinking of the songs, side one, side two, because I got side two up here. Side two on the one you want starts off with "We Gotta Get Out of This Place," and which is the same as side two, but it's a different mix. And then we've got "Boom Boom," but side two on this one, the one you don't want, goes to "I'm in Love." So, and then the next one on the one you do want, it has "I'm in Love," and then it goes to "Roberta." Roberta is not even on this one. So, so if you want the Animals' greatest hits, and it's a great compilation, and it's Eric Burdon and the Animals, because we're talking about Eric, you do not want the reissue. Take the time, and find the original release on MGM in the gatefold. That's the one you want. That's the one that's going to have the solid tracks. Okay, and now for the last two. Gosh, mine is going to be like the longest video. Everybody else's was like less than 10 minutes, and here I am already approaching 15 minutes. Eric Dolphy finally came to mind. So yeah, great jazz musician who died tragically, and to some degree because of racism. When he and this, I got mine on this the New Jazz label here, Prestige New Jazz. This is Out There, and yeah, he can be really out there. Great album though. But yeah, he played with Charlie Mingus. And then they were over in Europe for a while, and they came back to the United States, I believe. And then Eric wanted to go back to Europe, and Mingus wanted to stay in the U.S. And so Eric went back to Europe. And as soon as he arrived in Berlin, I think it was, he became ill and was hospitalized. And he died in the hospital because the doctors because he was a black man and a jazz musician, they believed it was a drug overdose. So they treated him as if it were a drug overdose. But no, he was undiagnosed diabetic. And he was going into diabetic coma. So they completely misdiagnosed him. And he died in the hospital. Amazing, great musician. And then the last one is the, and now I'm forgetting his name and I have it written down. It's Eric Moore, who is the drummer from King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. So I've got several of their albums. It's a pretty cool one on the yellow vinyl. I understand for Eric Weinbender that this is, he's a big King Gizzard fan. This was the first King Gizzard album I got when I was looking at them and I didn't know which one to start with because there were so many of them and I really didn't know anything about King Gizzard. The guy in the record store recommended this. Start with this one. And I did, and I really, really liked it. And I've picked up quite a few King Gizzard records since. So there you have it. Those are the 5 Erics for Eric Weinbender. A speedy recovery, my friend, and, you know, keep at it. I really have no idea the severity of your injuries and what kind of challenges you will face in, you know, your recovery and rehabilitation. I know, though, that it can be frustrating, but keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. So, cheers to you, my friend. Take care and hope you get back soon. Remember, everybody, pray for the people inside your head, for they won't be there when you're dead.